Hi everyone, my name is Gabriela from Tulip Art Designs and you are welcome or welcome back to another watercolor sketching tutorial. Today we are doing this this little beach over here, and I used only watercolor for the first time since I don't know when, and I'm so happy with the result. And it's just the best project that you can do in probably less than 10 minutes. So it's just perfect for a small relaxing, getaway moment for yourself. So if you need it, let's dive in. Oh yeah, consider subscribing to my channel if you didn't do it already, so you will not miss any of the coming videos. Let's dive in now. Before we start, let me tell you about the supplies. I also have suggested materials in the description below, but in case you are new here, I'm using my Mary Blue watercolors. I just set this palette by myself, so it's a selection I love. Then I have different sizes of watercolor brushes. I have a round brush 4 and 10, and I have a wash watercolor brush that I use when I want to wet a huge area of my paper. I have a pencil sketch. I have a pencil to use for my sketch. I already have a sketch here that I'm not sure, yeah, you probably don't see because it's very light. If you need it, it's available on my Patreon, so I will link it below. Then I also have a Pigma Micron, and it's a 02 and it's waterproof, so when I add watercolor on top of it, it will not bleed. And I have a Jelly Roll pen, size 10, to use for highlights, as you can see on this sketch that we just did in my last video last week. Okay, so for this I want to just frame my area where I am going to paint, because I want to make it a very nice and hard edge. So here you can see that I have a hard edge, but it's very organic. Here I was going very quickly. So for this one, I really like to have nice straight edge of my beach. Let's see. So something like this I didn't really draw. I only have a rough sketch. So it's possible that it's not completely parallel to my sketchbook edges, which is absolutely fine. Okay, like this. So I will use graduate wash, and I will use wet in wet to do this. My extra supply for today is salt, so I can create nice top view of the water. And yeah, that's about it. I will start by wetting my paper. I'm getting clean water. And going back and forth with my wash brush. You can do it also with the round brush. This one is just bigger and it holds more water, so it's definitely easier for me. I go back and forth. It's 100% cotton watercolor paper, so it absorbs the water very well. And it will create a very nice surface to paint on. Then let me just do this. and grab my watercolor paint so you can see. This is the tutorial from not last week but the week before that. And let me take some Prussian blue. I am taking paint directly from the pan, so it's very creamy consistency, really nice. So I am just dropping it in, tapping with my brush. That's gonna be the water, and here I will have the sand, the beach. So you can see that I am not trying to make it flat. I have some space, some places where I add extra paint and some where I just leave it white. That's okay. We have some waves in the water and they usually reflect the light, so that's why they are actually white. And then I will grab some yellow ochre, and because my water is dirty now, my yellow ochre is also a little bit dirty. So I'm adding a little bit of permanent yellow deep to make it more fresh, and I will drop it in. Like this. I am very careful to not mix the blue and the yellow because they will create white. No, they will create green. White for sure not. But I'm adding it more where I have these white spots, and I just leave it to bleed. Okay. If you need to make it more yellowish, go for it and add a little bit of yellow paint. Okay. Now, before we continue, I will dry this using my heat gun. I actually was too quick. I didn't want to dry it, so I will add water again. So you can definitely see me how I come up with my projects. What I'm doing right now is that I wanted to add salt, as I told you in the beginning, and I almost forgot. So I'm adding water, and so if you didn't dry it, just add salt and don't add extra layer of water. And then I am just adding the salt like this. And it will create a very nice texture. We never know what exactly will come up from this. Don't add too much salt. And if you can leave it to dry by itself, that would be great. Now, because I don't have all the time, I will use my heat gun. But the salt creates nicer shapes when it dries by itself. So if you have the time, my tip is to leave it to dry by itself. When it's completely dry, you can scrub the salt with your fingers, but you need to make sure that it's completely dry. I do have lots of salt here. Okay, I hope you can see what the salt created on my paper. And if you are painting along, I hope that you will enjoy how this salt just created these nice Just look at the texture, like it's so beautiful. And I was not even trying to do something special. The supplies just did it. Okay, now I want to use my Jelly Roll pen. I will remove my palette and I will start just sketching scribbles here in between these two. So I'm following the paint, I'm following the shapes that I see, and I just go and add some scribbles for these waves that just gets broken here into the beach. Then you have these white bubbles. You can use gouache paint for this and paint it with a tiny brush, with a small size brush, or bleed proof wipe is also a good option. My pen is getting stuck from the salt, so I have to clean it with my fingers from time to time. So basically where I see that there is blue paint on top of the yellow ochre, I go with the white and add some scribbles, literally simple sketchy lines. So it's actually visible nicer in real life, and I hope that you can see it well, but don't overthink it. If you are drawing, just go for it and draw some lines. We can try with the bleed proof white. I usually grab paint directly here from my jar. I mix with water and make a very nice texture, and then we can go and add paint. Just with the tip of the brush we can tap and add some small brush strokes for some extra contrast, because the lines from the Jelly Roll pen are very tiny, so I wanted to show you how to use the bleed proof white as well. Okay, you can pick some paint again. You can also mix this on your palette, but make sure that you will wash it immediately after you're done, because when it dries it's actually harder to clean. We can add some kind of a waves here as well. I'm just following the shapes that the salt created, and I'm adding extra contrast. So basically your paint is doing the whole job. You are just following the texture that was created by the salt. And that's it. Make sure that you clean your brush very well after you use the bleed proof white, or in case you use gouache. Now the best part, taking off the tape. When you take off the tape, just do it in 90 degrees, very gentle and slowly, so you don't rip the paper of your sketchbook, especially if your paper, if your sketchbook or paper is a little bit cheaper, then you have to do it very slowly. And also you do it very closely, very close to the paper, you see, not like this, but here. It's very nice. I really like this spread here. I only have a pencil line from my sketch that I will erase right now. I'm so happy with this little sketch. I hope that you will try it, and I'm sure that you will love it. And one tip, try it a few times and then you will see how quickly you will improve your painting skills, especially for painting the water. That was it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you liked it and I hope you learned something today with me. Consider subscribing to my channel if you didn't do it already, so you will not miss any of the coming videos. The outline templates are available on my Patreon, where you can get early access to all of my videos, and they are completely ad-free over there. You have also a new class every week and a sketchbook tour video, and you have a very nice and warm community. And also you can vote for the future projects that we are doing over there. That's it. I hope to see you next time. Bye.